First, say hi to the tube.
What up, YouTube?
What up, YouTube? How's it going, tube?
So weird with the cameras.
I know they're totally different.
Totally
Totally different today. I'm in a little corner on the screen. It's kind of funny and kind of cool, and I dig it. And yeah.
All right, podcast time.
Podcast time. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go for the show. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Business Bros. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Thursday, S-H-I-T, right?
Hang on. They look like they want to try that again.
You want to try it again?
No.
You guys did such a good job.
It was one of those Business Bros.
All right. You were saying?
Well, ladies and gents, Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
the insurance bro, James Cias, with Pipeline Insurance. And let me tell you, folks, we have an exciting, awesome, really cool show today. I don't think that we have had yet interior designers on the show. So this is exciting. From Fleurish Interiors, welcome to the show, Erin Anderson and Selena and Erin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
from North County too. So they made it a ways down.
Oh man, I always warms my heart when people drive from North County because I know you guys are dealing with traffic on the way back. We love you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for coming down.
Really, thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Well, before we get started, ladies and gents, quick reminder, 365 pairs of shoes is what we're looking for. We bumped up into the 100 and something with the last donation of 86. Yep, 86 pairs of shoes.
And so, Lizzie's friends.
Yes, so if you guys have shoes, hit James up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. He'll take new shoes, used shoes, or if you want to do a cash donation, hit him up, and then he'll ride over there on his Harley to pick them up. August 24th, beach cleanup in IB. So if you need community service hours, you want to be a contributing member to society, you want to go out and have a water gun fight, because that's what we're going to do when we get there. We're going to have a water gun fight after we clean up the beach. August 24th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. See you there.
We're going to have the most fun, but seriously, this one is kind of near and dear to my heart. Like I said, this is our hometown, Imperial Beach. This is where we grew up. And, I still, to this day, cut little holes in the six-packs, so no turtles and fish get stuck in my six-pack holders.
Aww.
It's true. Right? It's true.
All right. Well, ladies and you guys have come a long way with a nice little pit stop at IKEA.
Yeah.
Why, of all places, did you stop at IKEA?
We actually have a photo shoot next week, and we're stocking up on all of our little goodies, set it up.
Because you guys do what? That was me laying out the what do you guys do for a living type thing. Sorry, I botched that one. Tell me a little bit about Fleurish Interiors.
You go. Okay. So I actually was a registered nurse for close to 15 years, and about 4 years ago, I made the decision to get my real estate license and completely change careers. So I spent the last 3.5 doing real estate, and in January, I met Selena at a networking event, and at that time, I was starting to really love the interior design space, and my clients were asking me for advice and things like that, and I met Selena, and we immediately were like, we need to start a business. This is what we need to do. So we got together, and we
just put it all together. So now our business is, we do interior design, but we also help clients find the house that needs fixing, and we'll fix it up for them. We'll do the whole process.
The whole thing.
Start to finish. Yeah.
So you're looking for stuff that needs work. You're not really looking for stuff that's already done.
It depends on what our client wants, but ideally, it needs work.
That's what you love to do, right?
And we want to make it their dream home. And it's easier to do when you're already fixing up the whole house.
And what were you doing before you got into this?
So I have a background in the fashion industry. I had a line of kids' clothing. And then I
Before you had kids?
Yeah, during I had kids. And then I started taking a break because it was just not really what I was wanting to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where I met Erin. And it just went that way.
Well, okay, so you went from nursing to real estate.
Yes.
You just decided one day that's the last drop of blood or the last poop pan I was going to do, or what? How did you just up and walk away from saving lives to changing lives?
So at that time in my life, I was a single mom, and I worked for school districts so that I could have the same schedule as my kids. So I worked for San Diego Unified. I was the district nurse up in Cardiff. And I knew that there was a cap on how much money I could make. And here I've got these 2 boys. I put myself through undergrad and graduate school, and I wanted them to have a different shot at education than I did and be able to, you know, put them through school and not end up with student loans at the end. So I was like, okay, I had a friend who was in real estate. She was like, hey, I think you should look into this. And I took that leap of faith. And interestingly enough, I went and worked with her, and it became apparent to me immediately that that wasn't going to work for me. How she ran her business was not how I wanted to run mine. And so I then again took another leap of faith and went to a different brokerage and started out on my own.
Was it something where you planned and you had like a little nest egg to do it? Because you burned your ships. Like you left the school. Like that's the security ultimate. Like that's, you got benefits,
Salary,
you got salary,
benefits, retirement.
yeah, you're set. You didn't have to worry about really anything. The only reason why you left is for an upside.
Right. It was a leap of faith for sure. There was definitely some slim times, but you have a why.
Yeah.
Right?
And any regrets?
No, not at all.
It's been working out pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move into now what you're doing here. Like now that's a whole new leap of faith. Now you're partnering up. Like I know firsthand working with people is not the easiest thing to do. Like that guy ditched me the first time we worked together.
You didn't hear that story yet, did you?
Yeah, you didn't hear that story yet. But I mean, literally, we started a company and it was doing really well. His girlfriend broke his heart and he joined the Navy and bounced on me, and like I had to go through a whole business education by myself. And that was just, and he's my brother, right? So you're working with people that you've met at a networking event. What's that been like getting started? That's got to be tough.
It's all kind of gone so well so far. And I mean, we met in January, and the following week is when we decided to start a business together. And it's just like, sometimes like when you know, and I mean, it's kind of like, and over since then, I mean, it's only been 6-7 months now, but it feels like our personalities were meant to be together. We have very similar work ethic. We have very similar philosophies on life. And it's just like, it feels like something was like meant for us to find each other and to do this together. It's really been like working out, and it feels like doors are kind of opening for us right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you guys like, I know my wife and I are like polar opposites. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that we have in line with what we want in life, but then there's a lot of things where we see completely different point of views, and especially it came about with kids. And I see a business oftentimes as your kid. So if you're having this baby that you're trying to nurture and grow and
Right.
you know, make it something major, have you guys come across anything that you might disagree on, but it works out for the better of the company, but you
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I mean, it almost makes you wonder, like, what is it going to be? Is there going to be one? But it's like, we both have really good communication, I would say, with each other. And we've talked about having open communication. I mean, it's sort of like a marriage, you know, when you start a business with somebody. And for us, it was really quickly that we decided to go into business together. My sister, you know, I'm probably people on your side too are like, are you sure you want to do that? Like,
yeah. I mean, you guys literally,
like,
I mean, you talk about relationships, you know, you meet, you go out on like a date or two, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, you're coming to my wedding, right? What the?
That's exactly
Like, you know what I mean?
it was,
That's what's happening here. That's why I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, I want to know what the dynamics are here. Are we still in the honeymoon phase, or are things firing on all cylinders?
I mean, it's going.
It's going. Yeah, we are really, really busy right now. I don't know. I feel like the foundation is there. Like, I trust her completely. I trust her. I know that she has integrity in how she lives her life and how she wants to run the business. And I feel like when you have that, it works.
And the other part of it, like, we spend so much time together because starting a business is intense.
Oh, yeah.
And so we did, we met that first networking event. We've met the following week, and then every week since then we've been meeting in person for hours, if not more than once a day or once a week. You know, we meet 2-3 times a week. We're like on the phone and texting each other all the time. Our, you know, partners and husbands are like, who are you texting? I'm like, it's Erin. He's like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They don't even ask anymore at my house. They know I'm talking to Selena.
And like, we talk all day, every day, because there's just so much you have to go through. But it's been working really well, and we do then kind of after the fact, make sure we talk about, did that work okay? Did we talk about that okay? Did I overstep? You know, and we just make sure that we check in on that, and it's working out great.
So walk me through like you guys' getting things started. Like, how did you even define your roles, what you were gonna do, what you were gonna be responsible for, you know, how you were gonna get clientele, how splits were gonna work? Did you guys talk about that when you first got started?
We did. Yeah, we were really clear about all of that. We sat down and really wrote out, you know, what the goal was. Why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
What's important to us? And from the very beginning, you know, we knew that we wanted to be equal partners. Neither one of us wanted to do a business alone, and neither one of us wanted to be in a position where like one person was the lead and one person, you know, it just isn't so. But she naturally she's so creative, and she's so good at like the social media, and I can give her anything and say, can you make this look pretty, like documents or whatever. So we've kind of fallen into more natural roles that way, but we're very much like partners in it.
Right, and then she's got her whole real estate background, so she does a lot of the client, you know, she'll talk to them on the phone, email them. So she's kind of, her time is more that, my time is more the social and the creative, and then we both do the design together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that part. What do you foresee? Like when you guys sat down to come up with the plan, what was that ultimate goal? Like what is Fleurish Interiors going to look like next year or the year after that? What do you guys have planned in the works?
We have a lot of dreams.
We have big dreams. We have some stuff in the works that we can't really talk about yet, but we are going for the idea of a real estate collective where we can sort of be this all-encompassing business, and we have big dreams.
Yeah, so I mean, beyond like just doing clients' homes, like our main goal with homes for clients is we want to create spaces where people feel like they can totally be themselves, they can relax, they can unwind, they feel safe. So it's like our kind of slogan or motto or whatever you call it is modern soulful living. So yes, it's modern and it's beautiful, but it's soulful and it means something and it's important to them, and it's not just like another stage house. It's it's specific to that person.
It is. Because it really, like, I truly believe that your home affects your interior. It does. It's, you know, if it's super cluttered, like when I worked at city schools and kids would come in, a lot of times they would be having all kinds of issues, and there was always something going on at home, right? Yeah. And it's not a matter of like, it has to be pretty or it has to be, you know, expensive or big or whatever. It's like some of the best homes are teeny tiny, right? It's really all about how that home is functioning for a family. Is it, you know, is it working for them? And is it a reflection of them?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you guys said something earlier. You have big dreams, and I'm always cautious with dreams because dreams are goals without action plans, right? So I'm sure you guys have action plans ready to rock and roll, and I'm getting a sense of like the way you're explaining things, like Chip and Joanna Gaines pop into my head.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they fix a house, they make it beautiful, whatever, but it's more than that. It's like they get to know the client. They sit down and have a conversation with them. They want to know, you know, their hopes, their dreams, what they want, where they envision this home being. Is it a retirement home? Are they raising their kids? How many kids do they got? What are their kids like? You know, all these different types of questions that go into it. Because when you sit down to design this room, you want them to walk in and feel like this is home. Like my wife, I know every morning, well, not on school days because she puts it in a cup, but on the weekend, right? She wants to have her cup of coffee, and I always say she's the most successful person I know because since she was a little kid, she wanted to be a teacher. She wanted a house with a pool and a view. And like she's achieved every single thing that she's ever wanted. And so she loves to get up in the morning, have her cup of coffee, sit on the patio, and just soak it in. And that's her idea of home, right? So walk me through what it's like when you guys have a client. What do you guys, what makes you, I mean, separated from everybody else? What kind of stuff are you guys doing to help, you know, achieve home for that client?
I think that one of the first questions we ask people is, how do you want to feel at home? Some people say, I want to feel calm. Some people say, I want to feel inspired. Everybody has a different need, right? So starting there of how you want to feel at home and then going and making sure that we can help them to create that, because it's not really our vision, it's bringing their vision to life, right? It's theirs. It's not, we don't want to go in and basically put the same finishes in every home and, you know, it's that cookie cutter thing. It's really about each individual person and how they want to feel and how it functions for their family. So I hear you on the Joanna Gang side, but I think we are going even a step further with that and really like doing the deep dive with them.
Are they included in the process as you guys do it, as far as, because it's you know, I know when we remodeled our house, those little detail finishes, I mean, you guys walked around, my house doesn't have any pictures, like aside from what you see on the podcast where I got stuff here, this is stuff accumulated from people who've been on the show, right? So it's a little bit different. But in my house, like, I don't have any pictures. We have a hard time deciding if I'm going to put this picture here, is that like a hole in the wall that's going to be there forever? Like, you know, there's some commitment issues there. But even doing finishes, like what tile do you want? Like our backsplash took a long time. A lot of Pinterest pictures that we went through to look through stuff.
Pinterest is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
But still making those decisions. What about like the sink or the fixtures or the color or the, you know, the doors? Like everything has a different thing. Even my front door is still being done. Like, because we can't decide on how we want to finish it. But, you know, those are like, a little decision could take such a long time.
Well,
like,
and that's kind of the problem with Pinterest too, is like you go down the rabbit hole and you're looking for something and you find like hundreds of pictures. You're like, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. And you're like, they're all similar, all a little bit different. So it's kind of like, that's another aspect of our job, is we can help narrow that down and we can kind of pull out what it is that you like from those photos and, you know, find the unifying theme. And then we'll kind of like curate, basically. We'll be like, these are, you know, a few options. We don't want to send people out to look at hundreds of tile options, because then you're like,
they'll never make a choice.
What am I going to do? Yeah. Right. So, you know, we'll say based on, you know, how you want to feel and all of the things that you like to do in your home and all of the different aspects of it and all of the visual stuff, here's what we think. And then they can kind of...
Here's option A, option B, option C. Which one would you like?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or, and if they're like, none of these, we're like, okay, we'll go get some more options, you know? But that way it kind of saves them from having to go,
all the way through. Yeah. How do you help them see what the house has as potential versus, you know, like... Because, I mean, sometimes, you know, when I was showing homes, I'd walk somebody into a house and they're like, oh, this place, I would change that wallpaper. Like, one of the simple cosmetic things that you can change are the things stopping them.
Sure.
And what you guys are doing is you're selling a vision of what this house is going to be. Mm-hmm. That's kind of hard to do sometimes when you're there on the fly.
I think showing them projects that we've already done, the before and afters, helps them to see that transformation. Like, okay, wow, you really can get from that to that, especially when you're blowing walls out or you're moving things around. It's really hard for people to have a vision when they just don't have it, right? Mm-hmm. So we use a ton of visuals, tons of visuals to help them. And still sometimes they're even a little like, I don't know. Okay, we trust you. And then it starts happening and they're like, oh, wow, like I had no idea.
And I think the other part of it too is like, we get excited about projects even though it's not our house, and we're like, look at this and this can be amazing and we can do this, and then they might not see it at first, but they're like, wow, they're like really into this. Like,
your energy is like contagious, right?
Yeah.
It's infectious. You get super excited, they start being like, oh, okay, yeah, you can kind of lead them along that way,
right?
And they can see the light eventually,
right?
What's your favorite part of the entire process?
I got mine. Go. It's the reveal. It's the end when we are like, here's, you know, what we made for you. And we'll go into that later. But, you know, we just did one and she cried, like not like a tear, but she was like crying, and it was like, I mean, I almost burst into tears. And she's like, this is just, you know, I need my life back and you guys are starting it for me. And, you know, that makes you feel so good. It makes you feel like you're touching people's lives. And really that's what it's all about, is not making things pretty, but helping people and connecting with people. And maybe it'll help them connect with other people, and kind of that ripple effect is sort of what we're going for. You know, make the world a better place, even in your tiny little community, even if it's just making people feel happy or good, that can help them go out and do something good.
Reveal's good.
Yes.
That's the reason why you have to wait till after the commercial.
Yeah.
Right? This is your new home after this break.
Yeah, so that's my favorite part.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Erin? Same, similar?
Similar. I think for me, it's not so much the reveal of them seeing it, but seeing how they feel about it, and then them like keeping in touch later on. Like a lot of my real estate clients, they'll call me to tell me, you know, my dad passed away. He'd want to thank you for helping us, or I had a stroke, or so-and-so's getting married. You know, like I really maintain those friendships and those relationships. So like our client, like for her a gift, we gave her this book about desire mapping and figuring out how she wants to feel and kind of finding her purpose, because she was going through this place where I felt like she was searching, and she will text us and be like, I'm reading the book, or I'm, you know. So for me, it's that after effect to see how the way that we have helped them lasts and where it takes them.
So I'm imagining that because you have those strong relationships, the reveals are so strong. They're emotionally, you know, filled. You keep in contact, giving them good things. You're busy because of referrals, I'm imagining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so we, you know, just launched in March officially, and all of our initial business has already come from referrals. I mean, we're putting a little bit out there, but we're not really focusing on marketing so much. We're really trying to focus on our process, our structure. How can we serve the people who were...
How can we make our process even better for people?
Streamline, systematize, make it so that you can scale, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be in the vision at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing that much stuff, what are you doing on social media? Because I see you guys posting stuff. What's your intent when you're doing stuff on social media?
Amazing at social media.
I honestly, like, I'm kind of... I don't know that I know what I'm doing necessarily, but I know that I want to just at least be a resource for people. I want, you know, sometimes I like give them this is how you can water your plants that are hard to water or something, like just that it's like they can look and be like, oh, that's interesting, you know, they want to keep on reading it. And also obviously the pretty photo, they can look and get inspired there. And then on kind of like the deeper level, I want them to get to know us on social media and to understand that it's like we're real people over here, and we're wanting to connect with other real people, and you're just on this app, you know, it's only going to go so far, but trying to
Conversation
get a real
start.
Connection going. Because it's like everybody's doing this all day.
Oh yeah, they're stuck on there. Yeah, we're all attached. It's okay.
You know,
it's one of those symbiotic relationships. We're how much of it is it separate, or how much of it is it actually, are we actually attached to it now? Like it's part of us almost, right? Like cyborg
like
style.
Creepy ways too, like the things that they like advertise on your Instagram. I'm like, how did you even know?
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you got pixeled.
Oh my God, this is super unrelated, but my mom looked at something on her phone, something I would never look at, like a piece of clothing or whatever. I mean, she's my mom. She's, you know, like 30 years older than me. I pick up my phone 5 minutes later, and that exact dress was on my Instagram. Weird. Okay, super unrelated. Okay.
No, actually, it is and it isn't though. I mean, that's the market that we live in. The fact that you think it's weird and that you don't understand what's actually going on in the background, it just says how much like most people are unaware.
Yeah.
But if you learn that social media game, you understand that, you know, you were probably on the same network or in the same vicinity. They know that you were talking to each other. They know because of your social media feed that you're related. So they know that interaction happened and she was searching for something, and it could be something that you want to purchase for her. Like all these different things that are being tracked, all that data information is the difference between you looking at that piece and saying, mom would like that, click buy, because that's the intent. That's the overall encompassing thing, right? And no matter what we're doing on social media, it's about attention so that we can sell or convert at some point. So that stuff is, I mean, it's intentional.
Yeah. Well,
How can you use it for your business is the key, right?
We'll have to figure it out.
We'll have to figure it out a little bit.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're already doing stuff right now. Like what you described in your posts I mean, that's strategic. If you look at our posts, we have very similar type things. We have video clips of, people that have been on the show, something of value that we're bringing to the table. There's inspirational quotes, there's audio clips, all little bit of, everything has its value, and it's the attention of a different type of person who perceives the value in a different way. So you're already doing that stuff. Those little information things, that's money. I mean, people want that information. We want little life hacks. Yeah. We want to make things easier. We don't want to spend all the time trying to figure out things if somebody can just tell us how to do it.
Right.
So it's bringing value, and you're bringing attention, and people see all the stuff you're doing. I think it's a great job. You're right. She's doing a good job.
She's doing a great job. I know. She's so good at it. She's so good at making things magical.
She is.
She is.
So are you guys going to be, we talked a little bit about scaling. Can you talk a little bit about what you plan to do as far as growing this? Because, I mean, it's going to come to a point where your calendar is going to be full. Mm-hmm. You got little ones. You got older ones. Mm-hmm. You still have a personal life on top of the business life. There's only so many hours in the day. So do you guys have any plans on, or is it going to be just, we're going to get as busy as we can, and that's all we really need?
So, I mean, our main thing is we'll just leave that on the side for now, but just because we can't talk about it yet, we want to have maybe a shop one day, maybe online, maybe brick and mortar. We would do we've talked about so many things, buying an Airstream and making it super awesome, and that could be an Airbnb or
a retreat house,
event spaces, that you can rent out. All that kind of stuff is in our...
Anytime somebody says I can't talk about it, I always like to dig a little deeper.
I know.
I'm like, I want to know more. What can you tell me? What little thing can you tell me?
I mean, we're really focusing a lot on the client experience, and we really want to focus on this start to finish idea where we help you purchase a place. We get a really good deal on it because it's a fixer-upper, and then we help you renovate it and, kind of do that whole Chip and Joe thing.
Well, how do you guys feel about, I don't know if you're aware, the state of California passed basically where we can convert garages into living spaces or add square footage pretty easily. That process is out there. Plus there's financing available for projects like that. How much are you guys utilizing that strategy? Are you utilizing that? It kind of elevates the value of the property, gives you financing options because you can use the after repair value to finance the property. You get to gut a place, and it's kind of part of the renovation cost. How much of that are you guys looking into doing?
We actually have one right now that's an ADU, a guy's building in his backyard, but we haven't really done too much down that, to advertise that, we'll help you convert these spaces. We really haven't. It's more like in Encinitas right now, the whole granny flat, because they're low, they don't have enough low-income housing, so they're in default with the state, is my understanding. So they're trying to get people to basically take these structures that were unpermitted, bring them up to code, and then rent them out. Mm-hmm. So we haven't really, we have one project right now that's a new build that's a little accessory dwelling, but we haven't done too much of that.
But then speaking of the financing thing, actually, I just mentioned that to you last week or something. My husband he's also in real estate. He does real estate investment, and he brought that up to me. I don't know, we have to look into that too a little bit and see, but that could be really interesting that we could offer, that
as an option.
Kind of hey, look at this, and you could get all of this to put into your house type of thing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to explore that a little bit.
It's just because, when you said start to finish, my mind starts going into different options. We've talked to different people who are doing similar programs, but in lower income areas where you have places that have a lot of room, they have large lots, they just don't have large houses on these lots. Or you have first time home buyers that are trying to qualify for something, and it's very difficult on their income to qualify, but you add the ADU in there, and all of a sudden the rental income comes in, and it, the value of the house goes up, it offsets, and all of a sudden it's something that's feasible. It's an option that they didn't even know existed.
Right.
But because you have that knowledge, you can help get to that point.
And I think what it all comes down to is talking to the client, finding out what their needs are, finding out what their limits are, and then we could present them with options that, and we could show them different properties that could open different doors that maybe they didn't think were possible before.
Yeah.
And I mean, with her background in real estate, she has a lot of that knowledge. I'm actually going to get my real estate license next week or whatever.
You're taking the test already, state exam?
I'm going to, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it all really comes down to what it is they're looking for. And if they don't use a garage, maybe we suggest making that part of their home. It's just so individual. And we don't want to scale to the point with clients where we can't handle the clients and we're hiring other people to do the client work. We want to make sure that we're maintaining the relationship with the client. And beyond that, we would do the shop or the Airbnb or
bigger
the
projects.
See, that's one of those things I wanted to get.
Passive income streams and things like that. Because we do always want to be with our clients.
Yes. Now that I kind of figured. That's why I was like, what kind of scalability are we talking about here? Because there's everything else that can be automated or streamlined. Sure. But the face-to-face, that you might want to keep, right? That's honestly where your business is really built, on the relationships that you have up front.
And that kind of makes it exclusive because we're not going to be able to do 10 projects a month. We can only take so many clients, and we really want to find the people who we connect with and who we work well with. We're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's just how it is.
But you're okay with that?
Yeah,
of course.
That's cool. As long as it's in the plan. I mean, some people, it's not okay with them. That's not the plan that they have. They have full-on scalability. They want to take their company, nationwide and be able to do that. And that's fine. It's just, what did you personally have in mind? Yeah. And that's okay.
But that's why you write a book and do things that spread, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We love royalties.
Who
doesn't love a royalty? It's probably the best way to make money. That's what I told my kids. We had a whole chapter on commissions, royalties, and piecework, right? Yeah. So we're talking about commissions, and then we get to royalty. I'm like, this is my favorite. Well, those guys from Friends, right?
So big right
or
now.
These movie theater or movie stars, Friends. I use Friends only because they watch it. I watched it when I was, in high school, and I told them when I watched it, I had to wait every Thursday for the new episode to come out.
Remember those
You're watching it, right? So you're watching it on Netflix, right? And every time it plays, guess what? They get paid. Yeah. Every time you watch it on TBS, guess what? They're getting paid on top of when they got paid originally. So, no, I love that. That's my favorite thing.
And now Pottery Barn has Friends mugs, and they've got the tea towels. I mean, Friends, man, they're everywhere.
Every time, cha-ching, cha-ching. Star Wars is the same way.
Yes.
So cha-ching, cha-ching.
Of course.
Cool. All right. Let's get to the Ask the Bros section. So, what questions might you have for this bro or that bro? He's got his mic ready to go. See.
Ready.
You go.
Oh. How did this all start? I mean, really, how did you
decide?
Yeah.
Very much how you dragged her in after a week. We looked into I looked into how to get more attention type stuff, right? I looked into doing video, but video editing was not really my forte. I could do it. It just takes so long for me to do one piece. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do without any help? And I was like, podcasting. At the time, he was living in an RV because he had been traveling the country in an RV. And then he came back and he was parked right here. I was like, hey, dude, we're doing a podcast. He said, okay. I go, we're going to do it every day. He's like, okay.
We're going to do what?
Yeah, we're going to do what? And so we committed to doing it every day. And I mean, you listen to episode 1, it sucks. It was horrible. We didn't really know what we were doing. The first maybe 100 episodes, we don't even have video for because we could do video at the same time. We just didn't know. And it's just gotten better and better and better and better over time. So we didn't even have guests. At least we think so. Yeah, at least we think so. When we first started, only Mom listened. So
pretty much.
Now, no.
That's kind of how it is at the beginning.
Yeah.
Our moms comment on our pictures.
Right?
There you go.
What I tell my students all the time is you got to be careful with your ideas and your dreams because you have an idea. So in my class, my kids gotta write for 10 minutes every single day, and it's a math class. And they're like, "Why do we have to write in math?" I go, "Because you have ideas, you have things going on in your head, and the first thing you need to do with that idea is plant the seed, put it on paper so it's getting close to reality. Because you might have a good idea, and you're gonna go home and tell the first person you love, mom, dad, friend, whatever, and they're gonna look at you and that's not gonna work." Right? Because they don't see the vision that you see. They don't have the same vision as you, so they can't see how you're going to get there. So the first thing they're going to do is put an impractical or impossible wall right in front of you tell you that's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And if you don't have that dream written down, if you don't have that thought written down, it's going to evaporate and go away. So write it down, and then you come back and look at it and you're like, that was a good idea. You know, I'm going to take action on that, because that would be the next step. And you start taking action on it and you do it consistently. It's the compounding effect, right? You guys read the book Compounding Effect?
No, I haven't read that book.
Great book.
Darren Hardy?
Yes.
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 I have read that.
That's a great book.
And it's also similar to Rachel Hollis's theory. Do you know Rachel Hollis?
No.
Oh, you gotta
check her out?
Yes.
Okay, definitely got to check her out.
She's amazing. She writes stuff every day.
Well, that's the point, right?
Every single day, and it all,
So
and,
my kids hate doing
I
that
do
right
that.
now. I mean, they've only been doing it for like 3 weeks, and I got a handful of them. Maybe like half of them are now like they come in and they look forward to that. And my goal is by the end of the school year, it's a habit that they've created, and it's something that they do on a regular basis, and it's taken with them. The other thing we do every day is we set a goal. So right now they're setting goals like something they can attain that day, like show up to your classes on time or make your bed in the morning, like something that's attainable, that they can set and achieve, so that later we can start setting, well, what's the goal for the week? Right. Or then later, what's the goal for the month? By the end of next year, I want to, and they're actual tactical, practical, attainable goals because they've known how to set goals and make them happen. So, I mean, those are two little things that we do in class to make it happen. Podcast was no different. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it every day. And we did it every day, and like anything else, it's going to get better and better and better if you practice doing it every day.
And it's kind of good when you like don't have a break, you like keep going. And that's sort of similar. Like we just went so fast at the beginning. We didn't have time to be like, is this going to work? Like there was no time for doubt. We just were like, let's do it and just went for it. And it worked.
But isn't it amazing that when you reach those little baby goals, whatever they are, and it snowballs, like I truly believe in my heart that I can do whatever I want to do, like ever. Because I'm like, look, I did it already. Like I've already done it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's such a good feeling. So like when we talk about all the things that we want to do, I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Well, it's going to happen.
It's done. Yeah. It's already done.
But you also understand you don't have that instant gratification feeling when you set your goal. Right. You know that it's going to take work. You know that it's going to take an effort. It's not going to be here tomorrow. You're going to get there. Right. When I finally got back into going to the gym, I was like, okay, well, in about a year, I'll look like exactly how I want to look. But I know I'm forecasting myself with a year's worth. Yeah. And I'm setting myself for that long-term goal. But there's no way I could have done that, I don't know, 20 years ago. If I set a year goal, that would have been done in like 2 days. Right? Like I couldn't do that. Doing those small things consistently on a regular basis, I think makes all the difference in the world when it comes to achieving whatever you want.
All about habits.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, making the habits of setting a goal and achieving your goal. And it's just a habit, and your brain is used to it. Mm-hmm. Totally. And then you can do it longer and longer, just like you're saying. It's going to be so good for those kids.
I can't wait to see where you guys are at the end of the year. Maybe you can like come back and announce your secret.
Yeah,
we can.
I try to pick as much as I possibly could. Yeah. See what I can get out of you guys. But if not, you need to post it and share it with us. Tag us because I want to know what's going on.
For sure, yeah.
We will.
Awesome.
It's only maybe a few months.
A few months away?
Yeah.
All right. This is your camera for you guys. I want you to look at this camera. Tell people how to get a hold of you. Maybe they want their dreams to come true in their home. How do they get a hold of you?
At Fleurish Interiors.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Yeah, you
got
got
the banner.
right?
The banner's right there.
The banner's right there.
At Fleurish Interiors on Instagram, flourishinteriors.com. That's kind of it. Phone number.
Yep, it's a 760 number right under her.
Yes.
It's there.
Call us. Email is design@flourishinteriors.com. I think that's.
And check out their Instagram. Look at the pictures. Get inspired at the very least, and then send them a DM.
And we're trying to add in a little bit more real life, so kind of like give us a little boost with that, because that's always a little bit like, I don't know, should I show this? Yeah, if you feel vulnerable. So that's what we're trying to do. But
that's why you go around and get on podcasts, right? Yeah. So you can feel a little vulnerable. Oh, yeah. So you can realize that this is my face and this is my voice, and it's just what it is.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, you guys did a good job.
Thank you.
First podcast?
First podcast.
See? And how do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
It was easy?
Yeah.
Smooth?
Yeah.
You guys did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. And ladies and gents, just a quick reminder, 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. So if you got new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. By the way, he also does insurance. So maybe you want to add insurance into your business. You need a new cash flow stream. I almost forgot what I was going to say.
Stream of income.
A new stream of income, yeah. Or you need insurance yourself for your business or your personal stuff. 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. August 24th, beach cleanup, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Get your community service hours. Bring your water guns. Let's clean up the beach and have some fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank our guests one more time for showing up. Really appreciate you guys coming out.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
And that's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out. Bye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. Thanks for joining us. We love you.
We love ya.
All right. That's a wrap.
All right.
Cool. Thank you guys.